Azzi Fudd's parents see key differences between Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers. It's Michael Jordan and LeBron James. In a league hungry for stars, two rising icons are taking very different paths, and Bueckers' inner circle says that's exactly the point. Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers are already the central characters in a narrative the WNBA can't stop pushing: scorer versus playmaker, flash versus flow. But if you ask the people who know Bueckers best, Azzi Fudd's parents, the constant comparison misses the point entirely. On the NOVA Legends podcast, Katie Smirka Duffy and Tim Fudd laid it out clearly. Paige does have a competitive fire, said Tim. Caitlin shows hers a lot in those big moments. Paige has that fire in her belly, and we've just yet to see it with the wings. The contrast was summed up in one bold declaration: it's Michael Jordan and LeBron James. That line, delivered without irony, speaks to the reverence and restraint in Bueckers' game. According to Smirka Duffy, the difference isn't just in production, it's philosophy. She's not going to shoot the ball 25 times a game. She's just not. Where Caitlin wants to score, right? There's a difference. Paige just assist, rebound, score. Whatever you need me to do, let's do it. Bueckers leads with patience on and off the scoreboard. While Clark continues to dominate the headlines and often the stat sheets, Bueckers is quietly asserting herself in her own way. In her return from injury, she dropped 35 points on the Phoenix Mercury, hitting 8 of 10 in the first half. But her team, they fell to 1-10. Still, Bueckers refused to blame anyone. It's challenging, but very rewarding, she said. Trying to build what our culture looks like for this year, and the results will follow. She's not demanding the spotlight. She's building something more difficult, a team identity from scratch. While the league tries to pit her against Clark for attention, Bueckers' game and her attitude continue to write a very different kind of legacy. Azzi Fudd has always been surrounded by greatness. Raised in a basketball household by two former players, Tim and Katie Fudd, she grew up not only learning how to shoot the perfect jumper, but also how to recognize the difference between hype and history. So when asked recently about the swirling debate between Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers, the two biggest names lighting up the WNBA, Azzi's parents gave a comparison that stunned reporters, yet made perfect sense. It's Michael Jordan and LeBron James, Tim Fudd said, without flinching. They're both icons, but they do it in completely different ways. That comparison, thrown into the already flammable debate of WNBA supremacy, sparked instant chatter on social media. But beyond the headlines and hashtags, there's a deeper, more nuanced appreciation behind the words. The Clark effect, Jordan's swagger, Jordan's killer instinct. Katie Fudd, herself a former standout at NC State, elaborated. Caitlin has that MJ edge, that chip on her shoulder. She walks into arenas like she's already won, and half the time she has. She scores in flurries and wants the ball when the game's on the line. She's the bucket getter, the icon in the spotlight who loves the challenge of silencing every doubter. Clark, now with the Indiana Fever, has already broken attendance records, shattered the rookie scoring average, and turned heads with logo-range threes. The WNBA has never seen anything quite like her, not just in stats, but in energy. She's fire. She's flair. She plays as if she's carrying history on her back and rewriting it mid-stride. Tim nodded. That's Jordan. The same way MJ created a culture around himself, Caitlin has built her own orbit. Everyone in the league is adjusting to her game. Bueckers' brilliance, LeBron's vision, LeBron's versatility. But then there's Paige Bueckers, now fully healthy and finally thriving with the Minnesota Lynx. Quieter than Clark in demeanor, but just as fierce, just as game-changing. She's like LeBron, Tim added. She sees the court like a general. She's not going to force 35 shots. She'll get her 20 and dish out 12 assists. She moves with a purpose that makes everyone around her better, and when she needs to, she can dominate. But it's elegant. It's strategic. Paige, often more reserved in media appearances, has never chased the spotlight. Yet those who watch her know she controls the tempo of a game. She's methodical, cerebral, less volcanic eruption, more perfect storm. Her basketball IQ, off-ball movement, and clutch-time awareness are often compared to the all-time greats, not just in women's basketball, but across all hoops. You look at LeBron and you see a maestro. You look at Paige, it's the same thing, Katie added. She may not dunk or scream. When the game ends, she's the reason the scoreboard looks how it does.